Hearing, and Joe Booth, are you going to give us some genesis of this, and then we'd love some brief concerns or replies to Joe's. Joe is head of our codes department, if you don't know Joe, and just tell us about the sign.
I could actually read the resolution made last meeting. Now therefore be resolved that the town board of the town of New Hartford requested the code enforcement officer Joseph Booth place a moratorium on the issuance of all new sign permits for building mounted signs and for automated electronic programmable reader board signs in any location. This moratorium shall remain in full force and effect until these aspects of the ordinance can be addressed by staff and new code language can be drafted and approved by the town board. Since that was drafted, we've had quite a few applications for signs, building mounted signs. I law have 30 days to review them. In that these signs are not controversial in any way, they're fitting the same criteria that the signs have fit our code for years now. I'd like to add on to this resolution and suggest that pending applications for non-automated signs on buildings shall be granted based on previously established criteria. So from this date forward, building mounted signs, automated signs, we'll hold off on the permits until the legislation can be drafted, but the applications I have in front of me now, I think we should grant.
Okay, so they would be grandfathered, I guess you could say. Okay.
Do you have a criteria that you went through for years?
Right.
That's part of the problem with the ordinance. It is a minimal criteria, but there's nothing objectionable by these signs. Some are actually being made smaller. The rest are atypical.
We actually went out on the field to
That's right.
see some, you know.
Kids are us. And,
I guess the question is, how long would this abeyance be?
well, there again, I was looking for no more than 90 days. 90 days, as you can see, would put a burden on businesses. Being that I got five permit applications in 2 weeks here for signs. I hope to have it before you, well before 60 days again for approval.
Okay. Are there any comments, folks, that would like to address Joe? Yes,
I
ma'am.
have a comment, actually a question too.
Have your name, please.
Yes, my name is Kate McGuire. I'm an attorney from Harris Beach, and I represent, I'm here on behalf of Toys R Us. And with your proposed resolution, you were stating that all pending applications would be approved at this time?
Yes.
That you have, okay. Toys R Us has a pending application that was submitted, I believe, on around March 19th.
I was there.
Okay,
Joe and I both went there.
perfect.
We had a very good construction manager, and Joe he had the paperwork all filled out, and we hand carried it out of the store.
And there was nothing out of the ordinary. As a matter of fact, they're
Okay.
shrinking a little bit inside.
Right.
Great, that's good news. We just wanted to kind of make sure that our client was going to go forward. So thank you
You're
very
doing
much.
a nice job there.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
appreciate it.
On another note, I'd like to apprise the board and the public that a zoning advisory committee has been formed. Our first meeting is Wednesday, April 2nd. They are going to get marching orders to concentrate on the sign ordinance first.
Who is on that committee, Joe?
Tim Tallman from the zoning board, Jerome Donovan from the planning board, Bill Devaney of Valley View Road, Bill Smith of Mallory Road, and Jack Jones of Morgan Lane.
Thank you.
And these names were taken from a list of interested candidates submitted to the supervisor's office.
Any other comments? If not, Joe, I would like it to be sooner rather than later. I guess that's the only thing I can say from the point of view of, we're always business-minded here in the town of Hartford, but I do applaud, I went out in the field with Joe on some of the signs, and it's a lot of work out there. But, Joe, thank you very much.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Just for Joe, the ZBA and you have identified discrepancies that you're actually wrestling with some of these signs that come before the ZBA, right?
Yes, I think Randy or Bob Schulman could address those concerns.
Yeah.
And in fact, Bob was alluded to the fact that we don't have much of an ordinance for building mounted signs, and that's the crux of the matter.
And also, if you kind of, while this is one issue, there's a whole lot of code issues that, or there are several troublesome issues.
As far as the
And
committee.
this is only one of them.
Yeah, as far as the committee goes, we're initially going to be looking at the sign ordinance, and then we're gonna expand to some of the problems that we've encountered since 1999 with the current ordinance, and reformulating some of the zoning criteria to get more consistent with the comprehensive plan prepared for us by Peter J. Smith.
Okay, that's an important segment, I think.
Very important.
The fact that it is part of the comprehensive plan.
It's a must.
Trying to bring the code up to today's standards, addressing different signage, different available signage out
So
there.
this committee is going to be busy for a while.
Good.
And we touched on the timeframe. Initially, we were talking about 90 days, and I think we all agree that's too long. What would be the, we need to shorten that timeframe. What would be your recommendation?
Certainly no more than 60 days. I would hope to have it compiled within 60 days.
So this board that is gonna review this, they're fully aware of the fact that it may mean more than one meeting a month to get
Oh,
this.
yeah, I'm thinking.
This is a
even-
priority
even
issue, and that
two a week.
they're gonna put some time into it and resolve this, and perhaps slow up on the other stuff, but this is something that needs to be resolved soon. Because if you put a moratorium on it for 30, 60, 90 days, that's tantamount to stopping construction, depending on who the customer is. That may actually have a real negative impact during that period, and we don't necessarily wanna do that. We wanna get our arms around a reasonable sign ordinance.
Exactly, and that came to light with the Toys R Us building.
Right.
They made us know that had this ordinance, had they known about this ordinance issue, they wouldn't even have started the renovation process.
It's tantamount to stopping.
That's
right.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you got good committee members, and as David said, you know what your marching orders are.
60 days max with an eye to getting it done in 30 to 45?
Sure. I just want to emphasize to the board, not to use a cliche, but haste makes waste.
Oh, absolutely.
And
You
I
want it done right.
I want it done right, and I don't want to be stuck with an ordinance for a number of years that.
Correct.
we gotta-
Good.
Definitely 60 days seems like a reasonable amount of time.
Wonderful.
To hear from the ZBA.
I think Joe said it well. We've had some issues that have come in front of the ZBA on signage, and as the supervisor mentioned, I think we want to give the proper consideration to the businesses. And however, as Joe mentioned, haste, I don't think we want to do it in too quick a situation. You know, we, from the ZBA, we have Tim Tallman sitting on this committee. Tim understands the ramifications, well aware of being a businessman himself. But I think that, I know you're looking for a time frame. I think 60 days would suffice. And I think that he'd be able to get it done in that period of time, but as Joe mentioned, there have been issues, and I think to get something clear in writing would benefit everybody, quite honestly.
Does that change anything with people having to go for a variance, would that clean that area up? or-
Hopefully it will, and there's always going to be exceptions to the code, and that's why the zoning board's there as a relief mechanism. But when you have an ordinance that doesn't meet the standards of today, the zoning boards are much more
Well, I think the other thing is some things are not even addressed.
Exactly.
Some things aren't even addressed, and I think that's what we're anticipating the committee to address those, and it's gonna be in black and white.
So to make your job a lot easier. so-
Absolutely. Well, it'll make Joe's job,
Make
and
my
the
job
code's a
easier.
lot easier, quite honestly.
Good.
Joe, does this timeframe include, the preparation of the local law introductory and the town board's referral of the zoning text change to the planning board and an Ida County planning department?
That's why 60 days is optimistic. I'm hoping to have it before the board within about 4 weeks and then start that process. Whether it's feasible or not, we'll see. Depends a lot on the committee and their viewpoints.
Because
You're
even
gonna-
once we approve it, then there's another 30-day window. There's the-
Well, if we have to refer it out to town and county planning, they respond, and then we have to schedule a public hearing before you can adopt it.
And then once we adopt it, then there's some time
Then,
after.
as soon as I get it filed with the Department of
Okay.
State, then it takes effect.
Okay.
That can be a matter of a couple of days.
So the moratorium would not start until after a public hearing on, what was that second public hearing?
We actually
For
adopted
you
it.
to actually change the language.
Change.
Oh, I see, I'm sorry, yeah, okay.
The moratoriums should be voted on.
I understand, yeah, I understand, okay. Okay, so we're looking at 60 days.
60 days. I don't like to say 90, but as Gail mentioned, the procedures you have to go through, cut into the time.
Any other comments of Joe or Randy? Randy, thank you for coming. Then I think we have to vote to adopt the resolution, if I'm correct?
Other comments?
Any other comments? If not, I'll close the hearing, and we'll vote on the proposal as outlined by Joe.
I'll make the motion. We'll accept the recommendations of the codes enforcement officer for the moratorium.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Rich, second by Dave, all in favor? Aye. Thank you very much, Joe. I'd like to have approval of the minutes of the 12th of March. Moved by Christine,
I'll second it.
second by Dave, all in favor?
Aye.
Incidentally, Bob Payne is in Virginia, that's why he's not here tonight. Do we have any public presentations? If not, Mike Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing up, I have another point to go to soils. I don't know if you got a copy of it, but I left one in the office.
Okay.
That's nice of
Thank
you.
I saw this.
Thank you so much.
I have 3 matters. First in front of you, we opened the bid for the recreation center lighting. We received more than 1 bid, and we did send a notification out to the companies who felt qualified. There was Patricia Electric out of Syracuse. Bid amount was $54,650, which is within our budget limits. They have been in and out of the building several times. It's a very great proposal. Even the fact that we just have 1. What limits us a little bit to the number of bidders is they have to be night service certified to.
I think that was the reason.
Yeah. But we did contact Smart Lot out of Albany, some other companies, and they just didn't bid. So with that in mind, I would recommend we approve the bid for Patricia Electric for the recreation center lighting as part of the capital project, the rec center at $54,650. Works to be completed prior to the summer.
How many bids went out?
We sent out to 2 locally and 1 in Albany, so a total of 4 were picked up.
The local bidders didn't bid, or they weren't qualified?
I don't, when they read the bid, they may not have been.
You have to have nice sort of, you know,
Okay.
There's a lot of things we have to come in with, and gauge the amount of electricity used, and there's fixtures we have to put up, how long the lights are off, to prove our energy savings, and that sort of, and they'll only accept that from certified company.
all right,
I'll move it.
moved by Rich,
Second?
second by Dave, all in favor? Aye, for the lighting for the recreation center.
All set?
Yep, passed.
Second item also deals with the recreation center capital project, and it's the recreation center dashboard facing. We're required to get quotes for that. We contacted and received quotes from ice builders and sports systems. We contacted Custom Ice several times, and they did not respond. Obviously, this is a kind of a specialty item, so I don't need to go over the local hands. Ice builders is the low quoter at $16,820. Sports systems is $18,500. We have 17 budgeted for this part of the capital project, so I recommend going with ice builders at a price of $16,820, which includes all materials, delivery, and labor.
Who did the last?
Last one
Was it any of these?
no, it's actually, Ice Builders is the name of the company now. It used to be Ice Maintenance Incorporated.
Okay.
Any comments on that? If not, may I have a motion for approval?
I'll move it.
Moved by Dave, second by Christine, all in favor? Aye. One thing, make sure that both these contractors have proof of insurance.
Yeah, the bidders already provided that, and prior to starting work, the
Good,
the
okay.
board, dasher board company will actually provide that. Last item I have, just to start some of our, we're starting to get to the spring season here, we need some park labor. I have a list attached, which has gone to the personnel office. So I don't know if you want me to leave this with you or bring it by tomorrow to sign.
Until you're here, and I'll sign it. I recognize many of the names
Well, almost all are returning
from last year.
Yeah.
Where is Golden Lake Road?
That's out in, towards Brookfield. Young man's worked for us for 4 years. This will be his 4th year. We hired him when we didn't have.
He's the only one that doesn't live in the town of Hartford.
Correct.
Any motion, any questions of the,
Rates of pay are all budget approved.
I'll move it.
moved by Dave, second by Rich, all in favor? Aye.
And
Thank you.
Winter, or the summer flyer should be visiting households next week with the town crier. We'll put it on the internet at the exact same time. Try to make sure we keep everybody getting the opportunity to register at the same moment. The week the ice comes up next week, believe it or not, ice season's been gone for a little bit. We do have a little ice competition show this weekend and a couple of benefit hockey games in the rest season.
We're not gonna maintain ice.
No, March 31st, we're actually full. We'll be taking it out on April 1st. Okay,
All right, Mike, thank you.
thank you.
This is yours.
Thanks for giving me a quick.
You're welcome. Roger? You.
Several months ago, we had received bids on 2 two-wheel drive SUVs and 1 full-size pickup with a plow. And the bid had been previously awarded to the lowest responsible bidder, Steve Pont. I'm requesting that the board authorize the return of the bid security to Don's Ford, who was the second low bidder, which was in the form of a bid bond in the amount of 5% of the bid. Since we've already awarded it to Steve Hunt, we certainly ought to be able to return the bond to Don's Ford.
Moved by Rich,
I'll second.
second by Dave, all in favor? Aye. Thank you.
And on the low bidder, Steve Hunt, they have already delivered, and the town has accepted one of the two-wheel drive SUVs. And upon the receipt, which is anticipated this coming Friday, and acceptance of the second SUV and the one pickup with the plow, we are requesting that the town board authorize the return of the bid deposit of Steve Hunt in the form of a certified check in the amount of $2,310.75.
Moved by Dave. Second by Christine. All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Thank you. And I believe that the signed purchase order and voucher for the remaining SUV and the one pickup were delivered to the bookkeeping office earlier today and are in with the bills to be authorized for payment tonight. And I'm requesting that you sign off and approve the PO and voucher in the amount of $31,053.98 to Steve Hunt. And that has been attached to the package with the abstract.
Okay.
That way we can get the check and we can get it to them. We can get the vehicles probably on either Thursday or Friday. Okay, continuing education. There's a New York State Truck Safety and Education Conference on April 9th and 10th, a Holiday Inn in Albany, and I would like permission from the board to send Jesse Conheim, who's one of our MEOs and on our safety committee, to this conference in Albany. We're going to be talking about CDLs and a lot of other safety-related issues for truck drivers.
Would these individuals then come back at some sort of a safety meeting in the garage and review the?
As soon as we get off shift, we'll get back to our normal routine for safety meetings, and then we spread it out a little bit more over the winter time. Yes.
I think even though you're on shifts, a safety meeting with those off shifts is still important.
We still do that, but as far as having everybody together at the same time.
Right. Need a motion on that?
Yes.
I'll move it.
Moved by Dave. Second. All in favor? Aye. Roger, if there's any things they could bring back, videos or things that we could utilize
Yeah,
for
well,
rental or anything like that,
whatever you can
I would
bring
love
back,
that to bring back to show to our folks. That's big into safety.
Just an update, I put together another, or extended version of the intermunicipal agreement with the Village of the New York Hills for partnering on our green waste to wood processing facility. That will be sent to the town attorney, and if he approves